It's time once again for Fuel. I'm Ian Gordon along with Dennis Pitzenbarger and Nick Miles. Nick, what's on this week's show?
Two behind the wheels, the Chevy Silverado and the Subaru Forester. We'll also be taking a look at the new smart car, and we've got a very special in the pits for you coming up on today's show.
And it all starts right now.
Welcome back to the Fuel Show. Still to come, we're going to take a look at the brand new Silverado, and we have a very special in the pits for you. But now it's time for our first behind the wheel, the 2007 Subaru Forester. Now, the Forester originally appeared on the streets in 1997. In 2003, it got itself a turbocharged engine, and that engine won itself the International Engine of the Year award in 2006. Dennis and Ian take a first look at the 2007 Subaru Forester.
The first category for the Subaru Forester is Q Factor. It's the gadget or tech score, and it is kind of a simple wagon. I mean, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it does have some nice features.
Well, sure, it does have an addition of a very nice audio system that Subaru has accompanied with not only the ability to do CDs, MP3s, but it actually has some decent sound in it, and something that Subaru has not always been known for. Now, when you talk about some of the tech gadgets that the car has, you might want to talk about the all-wheel drive system, but we're going to leave those for performance for now.
Yeah, you'd also have to add in like the wiper de-icer and the defrost for the mirrors, because people are going to be using it in cold weather going up to the mountains and stuff, so that's a nice feature too.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a ski vehicle for every ski bum in the world, but Ian, how are we going to score it?
We'll give it 3.5 for Q Factor for the Subaru Forester. The next category for the 2007 Subaru Forester is curb appeal, and it's, well, a toaster with a turbo intake.
Wow, that is just absolutely to the mat. I can't believe you said that. You know, the thing is, I don't really have much nice additions to that informative and very creative way to say curb appeal. The Forester is probably not the best looking vehicle in the world, and you know what, when they put that new front end on it, I thought it was, you know, they talked about it and I thought it was going to be something new and fresh, and I really think they went backwards. You know, I've seen some custom Foresters out there where someone actually made a kind of a fake STI. They put some of the fender flares and some nice tires and wheels on it, that great blue from Subaru that makes it look like a rally car, but for the most part, it's not the strong suit for the Forester is going to be curb appeal, but how are we going to score it, Ian?
We'll have to give it a 2.75 for curb appeal for the Subaru Forester. Performance is the next category for the Subaru Forester. It's a turbocharged 2.5-liter horizontally opposed four-cylinder, and that provides its main power source.
Way to get that mouthful out there. It's 224 horsepower and 226 pounds-feet of torque. The thing about it is you got to look at it from what Subaru did. They took the powertrain from a standard WRX and stuffed it in the larger Forester, doing two things. One, making it fun to drive, but more importantly, making it funner to drive than just about every other small sport utility out there in this class. So really what you do is you get the best of both worlds in this, and I think it shows. You take their standard all-wheel drive system that is absolutely world-renowned, and you add in that turbo motor, and it makes it fun to drive. And of course, there's one feature we want to point out for those that are not, I guess what you might call clutch inclined.
Yeah, it's the hill holder feature. Basically what it does is when you put the car into gear, the brakes hold for a second so you don't roll back, and allows you to take off without rolling into the car behind you.
And that can keep your insurance rates down. But how did we score it, Ian?
We gave it a 3.75 for performance for the Subaru Forester. Fit and finish is the next category for the Subaru Forester, and I really like the build quality, and the interior is well appointed, plus the material choices this year are nice.
And I think that's a little bit different between this year and some of the other Foresters that we've tested. The thing about it is they've been able to make it separate itself from the lower models. In the higher XT models, you get the turbo motor and some nice little tidbits here and there on the interior that make it feel different than the standard car, and that bumps it up for me. And Subaru's always been known for being able to put a lot of quality into a small, relatively inexpensive car.
Yeah. Two other things that we don't like, detractors for this, are the high road noise and the frameless windows are still a problem for both of us.
Yeah, the road noise is a little bit of a problem with me especially. I just don't think a car that is close to 30 grand should have that kind of road noise, but not a whole bunch to nitpick about. How are we going to score it, Ian?
Even with those two detractors, we'll give it 3.75 for fit and finish. Now finally, drivability for the Subaru Forester, and This thing is totally drivable. I mean, it's fun to drive like a wagon, and it's got a lot of room like an SUV. I mean, it's got everything.
Yeah, and the one thing that we want to make sure and point out about the Subaru Forester is it has the highest crash ratings you can possibly get in every category available. It is absolutely the safest rated vehicle in its class. You add in, like Ian had just said, that turbocharged 4-cylinder, the ability to put all the ground with a 4-wheel drive, and then you look at the lifestyle person that's going to buy this car. They're a ski nut, they're an outdoor nut, but they don't want a big SUV, and that's why that Subaru Forester is going to score so high in drivability. But Ian?
We'll give it a 4 for drivability for the Subaru Forester.
Let's see how Dennis and Ian scored the 2007 Subaru Forester. In Q Factor, they gave it a 3.5. Curb appeal was a 2.75. In performance, they gave it a 3.75. Fit and finish, another 3.75. And finally, drivability, the overall usefulness of the vehicle, it was a 4.0. The total score for the 2007 Subaru Forester was 17.75 out of a possible 25. Still to come on Fuel, we'll take a look at our second behind the wheel, the Silverado. We'll also have a very special In the Pits for you. And when Fuel returns, we'll have all the industry news you need.